Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. They have a very special unboxing, something that came in from Enrique Pena at Pena Knives. Let's take a look. We'll get right into this. Today I'm opening up with my Spyderco Manix 2. This is the S110V blade steel, and these are the rock scale designs scales. Titanium, really cool scales. I really like these. Highly recommend you take a look at those. All right, I'm pretty excited about this one. It should be pretty cool. All right, should be pretty easy to get into. It looks like I only had one piece of tape there, so let's see what we got. All right, here is the knife. No receipt. Okay, very good. So here's the knife. It is a Pena X Series, so I'm pretty excited about that. Bravo 1 titanium frag. Don't know if that tells anybody anything, but here we go. This is something that they dropped that I happened to catch when they dropped it, and it went away pretty quick. So, all right, so what's typical is you get a nice cloth with that, which is always really nice. A little silicate packet, you know, to keep everything nice and dry. And here we go. I'm going to move the box off to the side here a little bit. All right, so it is a sealed bag. So let me go ahead and open that up. All right, so here is the knife. This is the Bravo. You can see that. Bravo X Series right there. Pena Bravo. It's a nice frag pattern. Feels really cool. Beautiful clip. It looks like a bronze anodized. Almost looks like zirconium, but it's bronze anodized. Looks like all T8s pivots or screws right there. That's really cool. We'll check that here in a second. Nice thumb stud. That's anodized as well. Beautiful swedge on top. Let's see how's the centering on this puppy. Perfect. Very nice. I like the clip. It's got a nice bow to it. Pretty deep pocket carry clip. You'll see about yay deep. Oh, I got something in my nail, so sorry about that. I was outside working in the yard today, so I'll probably have a little, I washed my everything really well, but I must still have something underneath there. Maybe I was working on the yard or lawnmower or something. There's a front flipper, as you can see right there. Got the thumb stud, so let's go ahead and give this a flip. Really nice, beautiful. I want to call this probably a Warncliffe sheep's foot, sort of a reverse tanto, probably modified, whatever you want to call it. It's a flat right, comes up pretty thin. Nice edge, I like that. It is a frame lock. Locks up probably a good 30%. You can see that. Let's see how does that drop. It's pretty nice. Oh, action's pretty good. Let's do that again. Okay, it's got a nice little, what they call a sharpening choil right there. It's not really a thumb choil, but it's enough to catch when you drop it, so that's nice. The action's pretty good. Let's do that again. So there's a little cutaway, very small indentation. It's a pretty robust frame. There's no cutout, no milling, so it's got some weight to it, some substance. And when it drops, yeah, it catches on my finger right there, so it's no guillotine. Does drop really nice. This is not even broken in yet, and the action's pretty good. Gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Reverse flick is nice. All right, let's see. Let's do the front flip. Here we go. That's really nice too. Okay, very good, very good. So the jimping is really great for the front flipping. It's nice and comfortable, typical of Enrique Pena's. They do that really, really well. I like that. All right, so, and the frag pattern's nice. Doesn't feel particularly sharp, so it should go in and out of the pocket pretty nice. Does have a steel bar insert and an over travel stop. I don't know if you can see that. There is an over travel stop in there. Get the right light, you can see that. And this is where you would drop it. It goes down right there in the thumb, so that's nice. All right. If I put a little oil in there, it'll probably break in really, really nicely. It definitely has some weight to it for sure. If you want a super, super light knife, this might not be for you. But I enjoy the weight of these knives. I really do. I like the weight. I like that there's no milling. This has really got some substance to it. It feels pretty heavy duty. Just, I'm out of curiosity. I want to weigh it. So, you know, this may totally exclude it from your consideration. If you see this, yeah, it's like 4.55 ounces. So it's not a light knife. I mean, consider that to, let's see here. Let's look at the Spyderco real quick. Oops. Get back to ounces and let's zero that. Compare that to the Spyderco. That's 4.12 ounces, and it's a big knife. And with the titanium scales on that one, but definitely hollowed out much better on that one. It does have this, now I want to say that's anodized titanium, but yeah, it's not steel. The pivot is steel, clip is titanium, but this could be, is it anodized titanium or is it brass? I don't know. So I'll have to look up what it says, but very cool. I do like that. M390 blade steel, by the way, in case you're curious. So when you look at this, beautiful satin finish right there. Different angle satin there and a different angle there. It's X Series. Thumb studs are really nice. They work really well. You can, if you needed to, you could choke up here a little bit for like a precision cut, right? But, I mean, I have medium to medium large hands. Look at this, plenty of room for extra large, double extra large hands, maybe even triple extra large if you're willing to use this little end part there. But plenty of room if I go back here, but if I choke up right there, that's really nice. The jimping works really well right here, so it's good jimping. The cutting blade, I mean, the thumb stud is right at the very edge, but it depends on if you cut this way, you're completely out of the way. If you cut this way, you're going to cut into the handle, but I would say thumb stud barely in the way of it, but I think it's fine for me, for what I'm going to do, right? So I like that. I like that a lot. So very, very cool. I like everything about this. Let's look at this. Nice chamfered round corners everywhere around. There's nothing sharp up here, even this part where you might think it could be sharp. It's nicely chamfered all the way around. The clip is nicely chamfered, no sharp point up here. And if when I deploy it and I do a squeeze test, yeah, there's no hot spots. No hot spots on this. Let me do left-handed. No hot spots. It's, yeah, it feels really good. Feels really good. Let's see you do this left-handed flick. Looks pretty good. Let's try to do a reverse flick. Works pretty well. Put my thumb on there, it should work just fine. It is a pretty thin lock bar, so if we get up here, yeah, we can easily do that as well. So let me go up here again. So I can easily, as long as I don't put my hand right there, and let's see, even with a little bit on there, am I okay? Let me try that down here. Yeah, so a little bit of pressure does do it, but if you go up like this, sorry, oops, you do that, which is one way to get around it, or you can just use the clip. So here's me on the clip. Now I'm not doing this. Hold on. I was doing it just fine just before. There we go. Yeah, it was fine just before. So I will probably just do a little dab of oil on this thing just because it just came in. I don't see any oil in there. So I'm going to probably just put just a little bit of oil because it's my knife and I can do that, right? I know some people, you don't like oil, and that's fine. You don't have to put oil on your knife. You can do whatever you want with your knife. It is your knife to do what you want. I do like to have just a touch, a drop. Make sure it gets on to the washers. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit of drop right where the detent ball is. Let's see, where's that detent ball? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so put a little drop on there. Okay, so what I'll do with that, move the oil off to the side. All right, so I like to work that detent to see if we can get it work into the track. And get that oil to work into the track a little bit. Put a little pressure on the lock bar. Just kind of go back and forth. So there's no ramp. I don't think there's a ramp there. No, there's no ramp on there. If I look over here, there's no ramp on that detent track, but let's see if that makes any difference. A little smoother. All right, let's go do a reverse flick. Okay. It was working just fine before. What did I do wrong here? I had it over here. There we go. Yeah. All right. The trick is to make sure you get right into the right spot. So for here, it seems to me the most optimum is not straight up. Straight up works, but there's less pressure if you at about a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to say like about this going this angle. That seems to work the best. Likewise over here, that seems to work the best as well. If I go straight up, it's a little harder. See? Over here, yeah. So as this breaks in, I think the left-handed will be just a little bit easier. I was doing it just fine before. Now, I don't know if it's my fingers tired or I'm just, I don't know what I was doing before, but it was working fine. All right, every knife is different. Well, if you didn't know that, every knife is different. And you've got to figure each knife out. At least that's been my case. All right, so blade to ratio handle is pretty good. There's no spot for a lanyard, so sorry for you lanyard folks who love lanyards. Sorry about that. I love this frag pattern. It's really nice. I like the lock bar, is really cool. I think that's really outstanding. Yeah, all this stuff is pretty cool. It's nice. I'm digging all of this. Really, really cool. The action, it's definitely breaking in as I keep using this. You can definitely see that action coming in now. Yeah, really nice. Any blade rock? No blade rock whatsoever. And let's see it going into the detent hole. That's nice. Any detent lash? No, it's in there pretty solid. What I really like is this beautiful swedge on this kind of a Warncliffe reverse tanto modified, whatever you want to call it, blade. I like that. I like that a lot because that swedge allows you to angle your cut. And I don't know if you know what a swedge is for. So that when you're turning a cut into something heavy, this part, if it's flat, it's more resistance to allow you to turn, because this part's pushing this way. And if it's flat pushing against it, it's a little harder than if it's an angle. It allows it to kind of help turn a little bit, okay? So it's kind of like a rudder. Allows you to turn into that. So it's kind of like turning a rudder, and so you can turn a little easier. So I like that a lot. Yeah, that action's really coming in nicely. All right, so it's a pretty good sized knife. It's not one of those smaller ones. I have, how many Penas do I have now? I have a Mula, I have a Trapper, I have an Alacran, and I think I have one other one. I can't remember what the other one is. I'll have to think about that. But those are some of the ones that I have. Mula, Trapper, Alacran, and I thought I had one other one, but I'll have to remember. But this will be my 4th or 5th one for sure. I really do like this one. I think I've wanted the Bravo before when they first dropped it. This is a really nice series. Like I said, everything's nicely chamfered all the way around. No hot spots anywhere here. I like this being nice and rounded all the way across. The titanium clip gives you enough for a nice in and out of the pocket. We were going to check those screws. I said they look like T8s at least. I wonder. I'm going to pull out the T10 just in case. Here's a T8. Let's see. Okay, that's a T8. It almost seems like, is that a T10? I wonder if that's a T9, just because it has a little bit of room. You can see that? So it moves around a little bit. I would have to see if I have a T9 somewhere. Let me see if I have one over in my set of screwdrivers. If I do, I'll bring it over real quick. T9. Okay, here's a T9. Let's see if this fits, because that would be interesting if it was like a T9. It just seems like it's a little bit bigger than the T8. All right, so this is a T9 right here. You can see that, Torque T9. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to see if it fits in really well or not. All right. Yeah, I think this is a T9. This is weird. Is that a T9? It's almost too big for that. Let's see if it's a T10. Let me go back to that T10. It just seems like the T10 was... It didn't feel like it went in. But maybe it will. Okay, I think a T10 is too big. But I think the T9 actually fits. Yeah, T9 definitely fits, for sure. The T8s seems like they're a little too small. Yeah, T8s are way too small. I think these are T9s. That's really fascinating. Okay. Not T10s, but not T8s. Really cool. But the pivot is absolutely a T8, for sure. That's a solid T8. It fits perfectly in there. But these definitely feel like T9s. Yeah, definitely T9s. Look at that. It's a much better fit, but I can't really get the T10 in there. Yeah, the T10 is too big. So I think we're dealing with T9s. That's unique. Very unique. Okay. I'll have to try some other bits just to make sure my bits weren't like, use. Sometimes you can strip them a little bit, or if they have a lot of use, they wear down. But I'll double check that. But that sure seems like what the case, because they don't look like small ones, right? These are definitely not like little T6s for sure. So I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's cool. Yeah, that action's really nice when it goes down. That's really cool. And I bet if I put skiffs on this, it'll be really nice. So we'll have to do a video on skiffs on this one. It'll be just a little option bonus day video kind of thing probably. But really cool, really cool. I like that. The front flipping works nicely, but let me see, is it not quite tuned for optimized front flipper, right? So here's the thing. If you like your thumb stud flipping, it's beautiful detent. Beautiful for thumb stud. Absolutely fantastic. And if you like to have a little strong detent where it has a good pop action, you're going to enjoy this. This, I think, is going to be really fantastic. It'll be perfect. But if you wanted this to be more optimized for the top flipper or front flipper, which I do, I like to have a little in between, right? I would have to loosen the detent just slightly. I mean, you could still have pretty good thumb stud deployment. I don't think that would be taken away from it. It might be just a little bit lighter, but it would allow this so that, you know, you can front flip just fine like that, but you can't do the one finger flip like I like to be able to do with most of my knives if I have a front flipper. It's just a little too, the detent's a little bit too strong for that. And so I find that for front flippers, I like it for it to be a little bit stronger. Now, I will tell you, the acoustics are really cool because it's a solid block of titanium. You can hear that. So let's listen to this real quick. I'm going to get close to my microphone. You hear that when it locks in? And then let's hear it opening. That's the close, open, and then close again. It's definitely because it's a solid block of titanium. I really dig that. That's nice. Yeah, and those accents are really cool. I'm digging this design. My favorite. I saw some carbon fiber one I missed out on, and they had micarta, but this is really stinking cool. I like this a lot. All right, very cool. So that is the Enrique Pena X Series, the Bravo. So this is the Bravo with the Frag pattern titanium scales, frame lock, bronze anodized deep pocket carry clip, back spacer, pivot collar, and screws, and thumb studs. So very nice. I like this. This was a great deal. If you got this off of there, I don't think you could have bought this in any store for less than $325, $350. I got this for like $274. It was a direct drop from them. I was super excited to find it. So sometimes, you know, get on their mailing list if you haven't been on Enrique Pena's mailing list, or Javi Garcia's, or Yared Orser and Superlative Knives. Get on all four of those mailing lists so that if they have some of these awesome drops, you can get in on them. Because sometimes they do these direct drops and they are worth being notified about. I'll tell you that. I was really glad to get a hold of this one. So very cool. Yeah, this is like a little sleeper. I don't think they're going to make any more of these. At least that's what they said, at least for now. Hopefully they'll make more coming down the road, but very cool. So that is the Enrique X Series Bravo in Frag pattern. M390 blade steel, frame lock. Very cool. All right. Hey, if you guys have any questions about this unboxing or the future review, there will be a review coming. Remember, this was just unboxing impressions. Let me know in the comments down below. I do try to interact with everybody in their comments. I really do enjoy that when people comment, so I can have conversations with you guys. If you have any questions about the channel or maybe future Rob's Ramblings, please let me know as well. I would love to hear from you and love any ideas for future Rob's Ramblings. I really do appreciate you watching today. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking my videos really helps out my channel, allows Rob's Nerdy Knives to grow, to do more things, and ultimately do more things for you guys. So I very much appreciate that. Thank you. If you haven't already, maybe consider hitting the notification button as well, so you can be notified of future content when I drop it. And if you've done all that, hey, check me out over on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.